morning all. In last lecture we had studied input output organization. Under input output organization we had studied two important parameters. Which were there? The first one was peripheral device and the second important parameter related to the input output organization was interface. I hope you have remembered both the parameters. In today's lecture we are going to learn modes of input output data transfer. So which are the modes of input output data transfer that you have to remember? So in case of the input output data transfer, you need to remember three important modes. The first one is program input output. Second important mode related to the input output data transfer is interrupt initiated IO, and the third important one is DMA, stands for direct memory access. Let's write down all the three modes of input output data transfer. The first one is, as I said, programmed input output. So it is also called as programmed IO. The second one is interrupt initiated IO, and the third one is DMA. As I said, DMA stands for direct memory access. So you need to remember, input output data transfer can be done in three different ways. The first one is programmed input output data transfer. Second one is interrupt initiated input output data transfer, and the third important method is what? DMA. The full form of DMA is what? Direct memory access. Let's begin with the first method for input output data transfer, that is programmed IO. As the name indicate, programmed. So what is basically program? Program is nothing but set of instructions. Am I right? What is basically program? Program is nothing but set of instruction. So in case of program input output instructions are the result of IO instruction in the computer program. What is the meaning of that? If we need to do the data transfer, so each data transfer is initiated by instruction. If we need to perform the data transfer can be done by instruction in the program. I hope you have understood this. Am I right? So basically the program controls the data transfer between two different components. Basically the program controls the data transfer between CPU and the peripheral device. I hope you have understood the third point related to the program input output data transfer. What was that? The program controls the data transfer between CPU and the peripheral device. If we need to perform the data transfer, in case of the program input output method, it requires constant monitoring of the peripheral device by the CPU. It means that in case of mode of input output transfer, in program input output transfer, CPU is busy for performing the operation. I hope you have understood the first input output data transfer. Coming to the second important method related to the input output data transfer, that is interrupt initiated IO. As the name indicate, interrupt, how you are going to define interrupt? Interrupt is nothing but break the continuity, or we can say that in other words, stop the ongoing process or stop the ongoing activity. Am I right? Interrupt is nothing but stop the ongoing activity. So just now we had studied in case of program IO method. In that method, CPU stays in program loop until input output unit indicates that the data is ready for the transfer. So that process is time consuming process. Am I right? That process is time consuming. Why? Because in that process CPU perform the operation. The processor keeps busy in program IO method. So this problem or this drawback can be overcome by using interrupt initiated IO method. I hope you have understood this. To overcome the problem related to the program input output method, interrupt initiated IO method is useful. So what happened in this method? In interrupt initiated IO, interface determine the peripheral device is ready to transfer the data or not. So what is the meaning of the interface? Already we had studied in the previous lecture. So interface is nothing but the shared boundary between the two components of the computer system. So in case of second method, the interface determine whether the peripheral device is ready for data transfer or not. If it is ready for the data transfer, it will generate an interrupt signal. If the peripheral device is ready for data transfer, what it will do? It will generate an interrupt signal. So once the interrupt signal is received by the CPU, once the CPU receive the interrupt signal, then it will stop the current task, or we can say that the current operation, and service the input output transfer. And once the data transfer is done, data transfer is completed, again CPU return back to its processing task or processing operation. I hope you have understood what is the significance of second method related to input output data transfer, that is interrupt initiated IO. I hope you have understood first two methods related to modes of input output data transfer. Coming to the third important method, that is DMA. As I told you, what is the full form of DMA? Direct memory access. So DMA method this method allows the input and output device to send and receive data directly from the main memory. This method allows input and output device to send and receive data directly from the main memory, bypassing the CPU. Why? To speed up the operation related to the memory. To speed up the memory operation, it will bypass the CPU. I hope you have understood this concept of the DMA. So this process can be done by a single chip called as DMAC. Under DMA, you have to remember one important chip. The name is DMAC, stands for Direct Memory Access Controller. I hope you have understood the first two important points related to the DMA. Okay. The third important point is what? In case of the computer system, you have to remember there are four resource tools. Which are they? The first one is IO address, second one is memory address, third one is IRQ, stands for interrupt request number, and the last one is DMA channel. Under the DMA, you have to remember four important tools. The first one is IO address, second one is memory address, third is what? IRQ, and the last one is what? DMA channels. IRQ stands for what? Interrupt request number. So during the data transfer between the DMA channel and the input output device, the CPU perform other tasks. What I said, during the data transfer between the DMA channels and the input output device, the CPU perform other tasks. Once the data transfer is completed, or we can say that once the data transfer is done between the input output device and the DMA channel, then CPU receives interrupt request from the DMAC. CPU receives interrupt request from the DMAC, that is from the direct memory access controller, for the further processing. I hope you have understood three important modes of input output data transfer. Which are they? The first one was programmed input output data transfer. Second was interrupt initiated input output data transfer, and the third important method is what? DMA stands for direct memory input output data transfer. Thank you so much.